How do I know if I'm qualified to be a legal nurse consultant? How do I know that I'm making the right decision? How do I know this is for me? How do I know that my specialty is desired? How do I know that I have what it takes? If you've ever asked, am I qualified for this? I just want to get to the bottom of it so I can give you guys clarity. Well, if you feel ready and you've said yes, you're the only one who determines whether or not you're ready to do this, whether or not you're qualified. No, I am enough. No, I do have it. And that's why I want to do something like today, just so I could help you guys go from my experience in the field. Listen, like the black and white of it here is that here's what it takes, right? Your experience is valuable, super valuable. Attorneys love nursing experience. So that's the biggest thing, is that you are qualified. Some nurses think I have to have ED experience, emergency department, or critical care. No, you don't have to just be orthopedic or ICU. You're the only person that will say I am or am not qualified, but I wouldn't discount any case and say I'm only willing to take car accidents because I'm a critical care nurse. So I just want you to keep an open mind in the case types and realize that you can probably do more than you think you can do. You can do a multitude of case types as long as you're comfortable with it. Does that make sense? There is no limit. You're the only person that will say I am or am not qualified, but I wouldn't discount any case and say I'm only willing to take car accidents because I'm a critical care nurse. No, you can do an unbelievable one. Like I said, a psych case. We all took psych as nurses. Does that make sense? Any med surge case, inpatient, outpatient. I'm not an orthopedics nurse, but I have taken plenty of car accident cases. I had a suicide attempt. So I just want you to keep an open mind in the case types and realize that you can probably do more than you think you can do. Because this goes back to how we're trained in the hospital. As nurses, we're told to mind our lane, right? You're a med surge nurse, you go do this, right? Here on the orthopedic floor, this is what we do. We only do this. But you've been taught and learned so much more. Don't discount your knowledge. They're looking for a nurse like you who has background and experience, because you don't need to be, they don't need you to know law. They don't need you to understand law. They went to law school. They need your medical experience. No legal nursing certifications are required. It's all a marketing spoof because nurses seem to think they need certification. It sounds appealing, right? It's not required. It's not mandated. It's not even necessary. Can I possibly have enough experience to interpret medical records? You do it every day. You look and screen and read through medical records and you decipher the lingo. You put the story together. If you can put the story together for yourself so that you can treat and care for someone, you can definitely do it for an attorney. When you put the story together and analyze records to care for your patient, you're implementing care. Wouldn't you hold yourself to a higher level of expertise or a need for expertise to do that than someone who is just reviewing the act or care that's already occurred? You're not practicing nursing, you're reviewing what has already been practiced and already been done. So if you are one of those nurses, just like me, who goes through, and I mean, you all are, you understand the medical jargon, you can decipher the doctor's notes and the lingo. You have to be willing to trust yourself, to say yes to yourself, and to go get the work. You have to be willing to say, I'm going to do this. This is your bridge to getting out of the hospital, getting out of the burnout, getting away from punching the time clock and working 12-hour shifts. Some nurses say, but I can't start a business because I don't have my LLC. I don't have a website. I don't have a business logo. I started working in legal nursing without any of that. You don't put a website up and attorneys fall from the sky. You don't need a logo. All that stuff can be built in. In fact, it's really powerful if you don't start out with that stuff, so that when you start your business and Rosa says, I'm a legal nurse consultant, and she's positioning herself in the market, and then she gets to announce to everyone who's following her, you know, we finally branded. Here's our company name. Like, it's like free publicity. It's like a free thing to talk about. And it's like, here's our new logo, right? And then they're checking your profile out. So it's actually really powerful to do those things as you're growing, because it brings more brand awareness and it gives you an excuse to share with people. So why not have the excuse to do that? No one's going to go look on a website. Like, they don't even know your website exists typically unless they have it. So I would recommend the easiest way to connect with attorneys is through social media. Social media is the way to be omnipresent nowadays. Like, how easily you can qualify as a legal nurse. It's not the legal aspect, and it's not the understanding what a legal nurse needs to do. There is a scope. We talk about that on the live event. We can really run through that. You have a scope, and yes, this is a place where you get to share your expertise. But what I love about it is you get to have an opinion. Your input is valued. And I think that what's so different is, you guys have probably felt this. Some of you, raise your hand if you have always felt you're just a nurse. It came with know all, be all, do all, anticipate doctor's orders, anticipate a plan of care, anticipate everyone's needs, but your own, but mind your lane, right? Because you're just a nurse. And in the world of legal nurse consulting, attorneys are like, no, but you are the nurse. So tell me what to do. You see the difference? Like, it's so empowering. You are the nurse, right? And it's, oh my God, okay, this is what I would do. All the years I thought I was just a nurse, I've realized being just a nurse was like everything I needed. Guess what? That gave me so much knowledge, and all that knowledge is insight for you when you're reviewing records where you get to be like, wait a second, there are not 150 rooms in any ED, and there is no record of fluids being given. An attorney's not going to notice stuff like that. Now I know I'm qualified, but how do I start my business? How do I go do this? Legal nurse consulting is such an underserved industry. We had a nurse yesterday on our group call. She said, I can't believe it. You were right, Stephanie. I called an attorney off a billboard and he had never heard of the term legal nurse consultant. It also made me realize how much I love what I do, because I can still have an impact and I can still help inspire other nurses and help them see this isn't it. It doesn't have to be it. So if anything, the need for legal nurse consultants is just going to grow because of where the health industry is moving over the next 10 years, for sure.
Want full access to expert-led trainings, networking opportunities, and resources you won't find anywhere else? The NLNCN is the only national network built for nurses by nurses. Join today and get up to 2 months free. Click the link below to start exploring.